Hello and welcome to Benz Addiction. This SLK230 1997 with M111 compressor engine stopped working a few weeks ago without any reason. So we are going to diagnose today and solve the issue and start it up after weeks of not getting started. So stay tuned. We start from fuel to see if we have any fuel in the fuel rail. We've got a fuel gauge, but if you do not have one, you only need to press this nozzle for a little bit and see if any petrol or gas is coming out. In this case, there is no gas coming out, so I'm pretty sure there is fuel issue. So let's hook up this gauge to make sure that's tight enough, and let's start. Zero fuel pressure. Now we know that we need to check our fuse, our fuel pump fuse, fuel pump relay, and the fuel pump itself. And the fact that if the car has gas inside the tank at all or not, maybe the fuel gauge is misleading us. So let's check this out. So we know for the M111 engine and R170 and 230 compressor engine, what actually controls the fuel pump is the K40 relay. The K40 relay, I have a comprehensive video on it. We are going to take the cover off just to, and there are a few tabs around it. Use a flathead screwdriver and remove the plastic. Make sure it's not going to contact any metal parts around it. And there we have it. So we know that the last fuse is horn. The second fuse is fuel pump. And if you look closely, you'll see some spark in between the relay. That means there is power to the relay and it's applying power to the fuel pump, but fuel pump is rejecting it because it's not spinning it. And also we're going to check these 40 amp maxi fuse and all these fuses over here. And in this case, I have tested already and they are good. So big main culprit over here can be the fuel pump. And what goes with the fuel pump? With this car sitting for a long time, maybe a year and a half with the same fuel, the fuel pump is stuck. Let's go ahead and remove the fuel pump and see what we can do about it. Okay, after securing the car with the stands and jacks, the fuel pump of R170 is on the right hand side and behind the wheel. So it's not in the tank, it's external. And it's over here, as you can see, in front of the rear axle on the right hand side, just behind the wheel. So all we need to do is take three 10mm nuts. As you can see, the fuel pump is over here alongside with the fuel filter. So if you want to replace your filter, it's a very good time now. This is also the charcoal canister over here. We used to call it charcoal canister. It actually collects all the vapors of the tank. So if you need to replace that, if your car smells like fuel, petrol, it's over here as well, just beside the fuel pump and fuel filter. So the inlet is the big one. It's coming straight from the tank, and you will need to stop the fuel. You'll need a clamp right on the rubber hose. Otherwise, you'll end up with fuel everywhere. So there is a safety hazard here. Always make sure you are in a ventilated area and also avoid smoking and fire hazards. The outlet is also this one over here that we are going to remove in a few minutes. So basically we've got that clamp to remove after clogging up the fuel flow and also that small hose clamp. And then there will be connectors to that fuel pump, which will be easy to remove as well. To remove the plastic cover completely, there is another one at the end. You see that long thin plastic. At that end there is another 10mm nut. So after removal, I've got one of these clamps to stop the flow, but at the same time I'm going to empty the tank as much as possible and add fresh fuel while I'm here. But this is to just taking off the clamp. Also make sure you've got a bucket ready underneath. And also you need one of these tools to remove the clamp over here easily. Just like that. And then all we need is carefully pull off the hose. But I'm pretty sure there is not much fuel in there. And as you can see, that fuel is pretty yellow. Okay, not much fuel left in there. We're going to take 3 bolts from here to be able to remove the fuel pump assembly, and then 2 8mm over here to remove the connector. Okay, fuel pump is out. We've got a new filter for it ready. I'm going to put the part number on the screen so you can change it as well. But I've got my multimeter here. I'm going to connect the multimeter to the fuel pump to see what's going on here. So the multimeter shows 4.7 ohm, which is a healthy fuel pump resistance. That means the electronics is in place and intact and not faulty, but the bad fuel and stale fuel has caused the internal parts to get stuck. So all we need over here is a bit lubrication, and hopefully that will solve the issue. And as we are going to use new fuel in the system, it will automatically lubricate inside the fuel pump. So we all know that bad and stale fuel is the #1 killer of the fuel pump, and then low fuel as well. But in this case, which is an external fuel pump, low fuel cannot kill a fuel pump because it's always immersed inside the fuel anyway. So you see, we get some spark here, but the fuel pump is stuck and it's not working. So what we do now, we add some Lucas lubricant. That's the fuel lubricant. This, I believe, makes real magic. I have tested this on my SLK500 fuel pump, and it actually revived that fuel pump rustiness. So I'm going to do the same. And I'm also going to add some silicone-based WD-40 to soften it up. So let's start with I'm going to use my brake bleeder to suck some of these solution into the fuel pump from the other side. And filter, as you see, it's dripping, which is a good thing. And I'm going to add some of these, and look at the dirty fuel coming out. And this solution is going to work out, and hopefully fix the problem. Okay, I'll let this sit for an hour and then I'll try again.
So I spent like 4 or 5 hours on this, trying every device that I had. I push air from this side, compressed air like 100 psi. I vacuumed from that side, and I couldn't unclog. I used every single solution, including acetone, which is solvent to everything and every glue, and I couldn't unstuck and unclog this fuel pump. It doesn't let any fluid or air to go this way. Shouldn't allow any fuel to return to the tank, but should allow fuel to go to the engine side. It doesn't let any fuel to go to the engine. So it's completely clogged and not gonna work for us. So It's a week later and I actually ordered a new fuel pump, and I'm going to show you the reading, the resistance on a new fuel pump. And let's go ahead and install this. And you notice that I've also replaced the fuel filter. So that's really wise to do. If you're replacing your fuel pump, just order one of these as well. And that makes your life easy for the next 10 to 20 years. So we are not going to apply power to our new fuel pump because there is no fuel in it, and I just don't want to risk burning it out because that's not wise. But we're going to check the resistance on this, and it is actually 2 ohm. So our old one was about 4 ohm. Let's measure it again. 15 ohm. Wow, that's a very different reading than what we had. So I can tell you that our old fuel pump is completely dead. I'm pretty sure a fuel pump should have resistance between 2 to 4 ohm. Anyway, replacing this fuel pump in the bracket is easy. Just taking one Phillips screw, loosening that, and then we go from there. So over here before the solution of the new one. I think that's the way it should be now. Too tight here, and let's go. And we're going to check. This rubber hose is not too bad actually. It's still soft, and I think. But if yours is cracked and not in a good shape, go ahead and replace it. But thankfully this one is good. Just making sure this one is really tight because this is a high pressure side. So it is tight, and also making sure that this one is tight, which is, and then we are good to go ahead and install this back, and hopefully we get life to our R170. Creeping under a wet car is disastrous, and that's how it is today. Completely rainy. I've got fresh fuel, 95 octane ready, but before adding the fuel, I'm going to add some stabilizer and some Lucas upper cylinder lubricant. It's going both to help the fuel and fuel pump to have a good time, and the upper cylinder head to enjoy the fuel, especially the valves and injectors. So, and also next time we won't have any issues in a year or 2 years time with the stale fuel. And this is going to be the most important part, because you're not going to use that old stale fuel, because you're going to get the same result and probably no start at all. Okay, now that I have put this new fuel in, I've got still my fuel gauge installed. What I'm going to do, instead of cranking too many times, because there is air inside that filter and also the fuel pump and probably the lines, I'm going to prime the system the way I showed you in the beginning of the video, by pulling this cover out of the K40 relay. And you can look at the gauge to see if we get any pressure over here by pushing the second relay. Yes, it's building pressure, you see, has a noise too. 60 psi was the maximum, and I heard it actually, I can hear some noise from here. It's letting the fuel back into the tank. And I can see even fuel is coming out of this place. So that's enough for me. I know that system has fuel and our fuel pump issue is completely solved. I'm going to put the cover back and try starting the engine. I'm also going to put this cover back to waterproof it for future before I miss it. And now let's go ahead and crank the engine. While we are there, we are going to check to see if we have any leak, fuel leak from the clamps and fuel pump, just to make sure. Thanks so much for watching, liking, subscribing. Have a great day. Enjoy your Mercedes. Bye.
Phil.
3, 2, 1.